started having this issue. So now we have termed the name as big data. So this information explosion is nothing but massive amount of data that is being created every year, and how fast your business reacts to it depends whether you succeed or fail with respect to your client. Correct? And this is a big problem. Managing the huge amount of data is a very big problem, and it's getting bigger day by day. So there is a firm called IDC, International Data Center, which has estimated that worldwide digital content would add up to 487 billion gigabytes in the year 2009. So they also predicted that every 18 months this data would grow. So you can just imagine, it's like almost, if I have to give an analogy, it would be stack of DVDs all the way to the moon and back. So this is a very huge amount of data, and this data not only consists structured data, it also consists unstructured data. So unstructured data. So you can structured data, it has a format, it has a data types, but unstructured data, we do not have certain format. To analyze and process such unstructured data would be very difficult. It is too expensive to the database management. So what are the examples for this unstructured data? So the images that you have from your CCTVs and the PDF files that you upload, the photos that you upload in the social media or any other medium, and all such data will be considered as the unstructured data. So processing such huge amount of unstructured data would be too costly. This is one issue. Second one is, at the same time, when we are facing the information explosion or we are struggling with the big data, the consumerization trend, they are also driving up their expectations, okay, as to what enterprise IT can help in their business. But IT is not able to do it. IT is in a tough place. So people want instant access to the information in the moment. We call the term in the moment. That has to be right. They want them to be right anywhere, anytime. So if that opportunity is not taken by your business, by your organization, then you lose the client. So processing the information and giving the data in real time. So that's the point here. Huge amount of data and real-time results. Consumerization of IT is nothing but they are expecting the real-time result. So it is not acceptable even if a point of second is slow. Your reporting is slow in a point of second, even that is not acceptable. Let's assume that it's a stock exchange scenario, and if you say that my reports are running around 2 minutes late and the figures are almost going slow, so that is not acceptable for a business person. So there are so many scenarios, even might be in the entertainment world or critical applications like medical. So the data has to be accurate, and they want it to be real-time data. So this IT cannot deliver, and it has put IT in a tough place. Why? Because the cost of managing the data explosion is too high, because there is no practical way to instantly analyze everything. Okay, that's going to be relative to the business. So IT cannot deliver some of the information. So when an application has come to me, I cannot say that some important data I'll slice and dice for you and give it in the real time. Remaining data will be slow. So that is not acceptable, correct? So that is not enough. It is growing. The data is growing and demand is increasing as well. So we must find a way to deal with this, a way to process and analyze massive amount of data in real time. That is where your SAP HANA comes into the picture. So here I'm not saying SAP HANA is the only technology. So we have many other technologies coming up. We have IBM Blue, which is a DB2 accelerator. We have Hadoop to deal with big data. Likewise, SAP HANA is also one of the technology which works on big data, which helps to manage big data and to get the real-time results. So here, as I told that in the beginning, HANA is a database, correct? Then what makes HANA to increase its performance, or why is that we are going behind HANA for data management, for big data management? That is because there are certain new innovations with SAP HANA database which makes it faster in access and analyzing the data, and also gives to get the real-time results. So what is that important point? So that important groundbreaking rule of HANA is its in-memory technology. HANA is an in-memory technology. The groundbreaking rule of HANA is in-memory technology. Okay, so in-memory technology, it's not a new concept. It was used earlier, so we have been using that earlier. But earlier what SAP did is, it had placed indexes in the main memory, okay, to increase the performance. So this resulted very high performance. Later on, their innovation point was to place the entire database in the main memory. Instead of just keeping the indexes, why not place the entire database in the main memory? Here in-memory technology is nothing but we're talking about the main memory, that is your RAM, okay, random access memory. So what SAP did is, they have placed the entire database in the main memory, that is in your RAM. Okay. So once again, you might feel that RAM capacity or RAM capability is very less in a system, correct? We usually do not have so much of capability for RAM stored. So but for this is where SAP along with the Intel, what they did is, they came up with the system configuration where they expanded the main memory, that is RAM capacity was increased. So here you have RAM capacity starting from 64 GB to 100 TB, 100 terabytes. Imagine you can store entire database data, entire organization's data in your main memory. And the important point here is, the data that you have in the main memory is faster to access, correct? How? If you observe the diagram here, this is the traditional database architecture and this is the HANA database architecture. So in the traditional database, we were storing our database in the disk storage. So the data movement was between your disk storage, main memory and CPU cache, correct? So whenever CPU had to process the data, it was waiting for the data, and this was increasing the latency. Latency was increasing. So what happens here? Because main memory is very limited here, so the data has to pass through your main memory and CPU cache. So this was creating the input-output bottleneck. The performance was degrading. The database performance, eventually query performance, everything was degrading. This was the performance bottleneck that we were facing in the traditional database. So further, to accelerate, we used different methods. That is altogether a different point. But now with HANA, the architecture has changed. Architecture in the sense here, the RAM capacity has increased. Instead of storing my database in the disk storage, I am keeping it in the main memory. Entire database I am hosting on the main memory, which means that my data movement has reduced between main memory and CPU cache. So CPU can easily pick up the data. It can access the data very quickly from the main memory. So we all know that the data that is in your RAM is accessed faster when compared to the data present in your disk storage, correct? So you can yourself think on some analogies, like the data that you have in your brain is very quickly to remember. Data that you have noted down or stored somewhere, you have to go open, and then so that takes time. So that is what here also, there is a mechanism here, it's taking place. Okay, but one more point here is, your RAM is volatile memory, correct? Whenever you shut down your system or whenever there is a power outage, you have to restart your system. What happens? The data in your RAM is lost. So what do we do for that in HANA database architecture? So we have a backup plan. So we store the data at the disk storages as well as a backup. So that is the different concept that I'll be explaining you later. So now, did you get this point of in-memory technology and how HANA database is working? In the sense, what is the innovative technology that they have brought into HANA database?
Yes.
No. Okay, so yeah, you can go on mute. So now one more point here is, it's an appliance. Appliance in the sense, which means it's a combination of hardware and software. So HANA appliance, I mean we call it as HANA appliance, and HANA is not an acronym, it's a name. Okay, and the software part, that is software packages or the software solution, is given to you by SAP AG company, and the hardware configuration is given by these companies. So here I have mentioned only 5, but there are altogether 9 companies: Dell, Fujitsu, HP, IBM, Cisco, Hitachi, NEC, and 2 other companies. So which are hardware vendors for SAP HANA solution. They are certified hardware vendors with SAP who provide hardware configuration. And one more important point here is the operating system. So SAP HANA is compatible with operating systems SUSE Linux, Enterprise Server 11. Okay, so these 2 are important point. Next important point is HANA software editions. What are the editions available? So this point you need to know. You should be knowing even before you start in a project. So there might be a discussion in your project like which edition to use. This edition, it depends upon the requirements from your clients, okay, from your customers. So let's assume that your customer has license. They were using SAP earlier for their projects, and they might have the license for SAP BODS. BODS is Business Object Data Services, which is an ETL tool. Okay, ETL tool to extract the data from different sources into HANA database. Okay, so we are going to see this in lab part as well. So if at all your customer already has license for this particular tool, this ETL tool, and their scenario is SAP environment, then if at all they don't want to go for any other options, then you can go for platform edition. Okay, likewise, you tell me. You tell me, Vijay.
Is it mandatory to use BODS so if I need to extract data from ECC to HANA?
No, it's not mandatory. So as I'm telling, it's in the SAP environment. SAP recommends you to use SAP business
Okay.
objects.
So
SAP business objects. Okay, in SAP environment, it's a recommendation.
Okay. So suppose BO data I need from another server to I need it into SAP HANA server. So in that case, is there any background configurations, or is that the way BODS do?
Which one?
How you
Sorry.
How you
so extra. So we have different options. One is you're doing it through the ETL process using BODS. Second one, you have direct extractor connection where you can directly extract your ECC data into HANA database via doing some configurations. After
what is this direct extract connections? Is there any background configuration, or direct you need to take option or go to
No, yes, you have configuration steps that you need to follow. I'll be showing you those configuration steps.
Like directly you can extract from an Excel sheet, right?
Excel sheet, yes, that would be the flat file loading.
Yeah.
And apart
then
from that,
there are different ways, like through for Sybase database they have given some different way. If Sybase SLT server something,
Sybase replication method, yeah.
Yeah, Sybase replication method. Then BODS is in a SAP environment, as you said, and for small like test and all, they directly load through the Excel file.
Yes. So yes, I'll be discussing about data provisioning methods. Okay. So next is enterprise edition. So in this edition, if at all your customer is requesting, or it's like they want the real-time data, they don't want to go for ETL method and they want the data to be loaded in real time, So then you can go for enterprise edition. So in this edition you will get the components for both BODS, that is business object service data services, and enterprise, and SLT. SLT is SAP landscape transformation. So this method, or this replication method, that we use to get the data in real time. So this from your SAP source system. Okay, and if at all the users want to get the data from different Sybase methods, Sybase database or other databases, then they can go for enterprise extended edition. So if at all they want to avail all the features of SAP HANA, then they can go for enterprise extended edition. So this discussion depends upon the client request. So, but you need to know what are the components available in each editions. Okay, platform edition, it supports BODS, enterprise edition, BODS and SLT, and enterprise extended edition, it is all BODS, SLT, Sybase, DXC, everything. Okay. So next is, apart from HANA's innovative technology, that is in-memory technology, we also have other technologies which has helped in increasing the performance of HANA database. So they are like a row and columnar storage option. So HANA has hybrid storage type. In a sense, traditional databases used to store the data in simply row-wise. But the SAP HANA, it's an in-memory database which stores the data both in row and column store. Okay, and this combination, it produces the speed, flexibility, and also performance of HANA database. I'll be telling you what is this row store and what is this column store, and what are the scenarios to be used, and what are the advantages of column store. Okay, in the architecture part. So next is compression. So compression is not a new concept in HANA, I mean in database technology. So compressing the data, we usually do it whenever we get the data into the database. So here with HANA, the compression rate is higher. Why is it? Because we have storage, because of the storage types. On the columnar storage, compression is higher. So therefore, the compression rate with HANA is higher when compared to other databases. Apart from that, you can use different compression techniques like run length coding or dictionary encoding and other compression techniques, and you can compress the data. Okay. Next is partitioning. So partitioning also is HANA's architecture or the hardware configuration is such a way that it avails this partitioning feature and enables the query parallelization. So we spread the tables across different nodes. Okay, and after that, the nodes to which we have spread the tables, so it does the query parallelization. So for this, we'll be seeing an example in the in the class. Next is no aggregate tables. So we usually store the aggregate tables, that is materialized aggregate tables, in the databases, correct, to increase the performance. What does aggregates do? So it increases the database performance because we have only the data that is required for us. We are, while doing the query or from the reporting tools, what we do, we extract only the data from the aggregates. If at all an aggregate is created, aggregate tables are created. So here in HANA, what happens? The aggregate can be calculated on top of huge amount of data. Therefore, there is no need to store aggregate tables. So likewise, we can save the resources, memory resources, and as well we can reduce the redundancy. So in HANA, we need not store the aggregate tables. The next is insert only on delta. So this, you need to know what is full load and delta load and initial load. So as we are from SAP background, we'll be loading, or we are from database background, we'll be knowing what is full load or initial load or delta load. So delta load, it brings the changes that you make in the source system and replicate in the target system. So whatever the changes we make in the source system is replicated in your target system. Okay, so that there is no overhead on the systems. You get the complete data as and when we load. So this we'll see once in detail. Hardware technology innovation. So as I told that HANA is capable of leveraging present hardware technology innovations. So hardware technology innovations in this is we have multi-core architecture available. Okay, we have and we have parallel scaling with many blade servers. We have increased RAM capacity. So these are some of the hardware innovations where HANA is capable of leveraging those. So this everything leads to the parallel processing. So parallelly when you are processing the data, it increases the speed and performance. And it doesn't allow CPU to be idle. So that is the important point. It doesn't allow CPU to be idle. We are utilizing the CPU resources. Next, HANA architecture. So here is your HANA database. In-memory computing engine is what we call. So this is your source system, the complete thing, ERP system or other third-party system, anything. So we will be getting the data from the source system from different methods into HANA database. So the modeling or administration or development is done through this HANA Studio. Okay, and these are the reporting tools that are connected, that can be connected to your HANA database to get the models that you create in HANA database. So here what we are seeing is the reporting tools of SAP Business Suite, but you can connect to any reporting tools. It's not that you have to do it SAP reporting tools. So any reporting tools which is certified, which is compatible, is certified by SAP. For example, IBM Cognos or tabular visualization, anything, any tool, any reporting tool can be connected to HANA database. So all these components I will be explaining you or will be discussing in detail when we go to the architecture part. As of now, this is the source system, your HANA database, and this is the studio where you will be working on your data, and these are the reporting tools that will be connected to your database to extract the models and present as the reports. So this is what data provisioning method that is available for us. First one is BODS, that's Business Object Data Services. It is one of the ETL tool which loads data from different SAP and non-SAP sources, and it processes both structured and unstructured data and bring the data into HANA database. This is one method. We'll be seeing it in the lab as well. Next is, apart from BODS, we have SLT. This is for real-time data replication, both SAP and non-SAP sources. And non-SAP sources, if I'm saying, it is SAP supported databases only. Okay, but BODS, it's about both SAP or non-SAP systems. So this is mainly recommended for real-time data replication. So this also we are going to see in the lab part. Next we have HANA Direct Extractor Connection, that is DXC. So this is also ETL tool, but the difference between your BODS and DXC is BODS for both SAP and non-SAP sources, and DXC it's only for SAP sources. So directly we are connecting to your existing data warehouse and getting the data into HANA database. So this part also we'll be seeing in the lab. Next is Sybase Event Stream Processor or Sybase Replication Method. So this is available for replicating the real-time events, okay, from Sybase ESP into HANA database. So this we are not seeing in the lab session because this is not there in the course as well, and most of the companies, they would not be using this. So this is used by those companies who are invited by SAP during the product delivery. And Sybase configuration, I'm not sure if it's available in the training server, and I have not worked on the Sybase replication method. So rest 3 and including the flat file load, I have worked on 4. Sybase, I'll be telling you the concept, but we'll be not able to show the lab part. I'm not sure if anybody has worked on it. And next is HANA Studio features. So what are the features that is available in the studio? Like, we will be doing the modeling part, you'll be doing the data preview, you'll be doing the import or export, you can do the data provisioning, administration part, creating the security objects, users and rules, troubleshooting. So all these features is available in the HANA Studio that you'll be working on. So these are some of the features I have mentioned. So there's much more that we do in the HANA Studio. So this is the course module, as I have told, as I was telling you. So this course module consists of HA100 and HA300. which is for developers or consultants or data architects or data scientists, anything. So they basically do the developing part, developing the models which are extracted or which are consumed by your reporting tools. Okay, the first 6 units, 1 to 6 unit is HA100. So this HA100 part is common to both admin and developer. So next, admin will be, after HA100, admin will be going through the HA200. After HA100, developers will be going to the HA300. So HA300, it would be advanced modeling. So we have unit 7 to unit 15 modeling. Okay. Unit 16, it's SAP NetWeaver BW powered by HANA. So we're going to have a overview of this, and if your training servers has connections or they have configured BW on HANA, I'll be showing you the BW on HANA as well. So I do not have the server access. So the company which provides you the server, the institute that which provides the server access, if at all they have enabled BW on language that has been introduced from SAP from SP07 onwards. So the current version of HANA is HANA 1.x SP07. So it's a new language to develop the applications on HANA database. So that overview we'll be seeing. So apart from that, we have the lab sessions for each and every topic. So this is what the scenario I was talking about. The COPA scenario will be seeing, and a financial scenario will be seeing. So all the extraction part I will be working on, will be creating all the models. We'll be working on the security and authorization. We'll be working on SLT, DHC, BODS, flat file loading, reporting, advanced modeling part and everything. So whatever it is defined, everything will be working on.
Excuse me, I'm not unable to see the PPT.
Is it? What happened?
Just now.
It's made presented. Okay.
Okay. Now I got message. Is okay.
Is it fine?
Yeah. Now yes. Perfect.
Okay. So these are the modules that I was talking about. 1 to 6 is HA100 and 7 to 15 is HA300. 16 is the topic that we'll be discussing, BW on HANA. So apart from that, miscellaneous topics like SAP River, SAP HANA Live Content, and then we'll also discuss SP07 new features. And these are the lab sessions. So I can send you the course module. I'll update this and I'll send it to you. So do you have any questions? So this was just an overview of what SAP HANA is.
Right now, can you